You've met her before. The soft voice, the shy smile, the girl who folds her hands like she's afraid to take up space, lowering her eyes, as if desire has never once touched her. And instantly, without even thinking, your mind writes a story about her. She's innocent, safe, pure. A woman untouched by darkness. A woman protected from hunger. A woman who couldn't possibly carry the same fire you've seen in others. But what if I told you that this assumption, this comforting little lie men cling to, is the exact thing that blinds you? What if the woman who looks the most innocent is the one carrying the most dangerous desires? Desires she buries so deep she can't admit them, not even to herself. Desires that don't fade, they ferment. Desires that don't weaken, they sharpen. And when the right man steps into her world, those quiet cravings don't whisper, they detonate. You think innocence means safety, predictability, purity. But innocence is often nothing more than a mask, one she learned to wear long before you ever looked into her eyes. Behind that mask is a storm, a shadow, a hunger shaped by years of repression. And the truth is simple. The more innocent she appears, the darker the cravings she hides. In this video, I'm going to show you the psychological paradox no man sees coming, the hidden mechanism inside seemingly good women that makes their desire more intense, more consuming, and more dangerous than anything you've ever imagined. You think innocence is something real, something pure, untouched by hunger. But innocence, for most women, isn't a personality. It's a performance, a well-rehearsed role she learned long before you ever stepped into her life. From childhood, she was taught how to smile softly, how to lower her voice, how to carry herself like she doesn't feel the same impulses burning inside every other human being. Family shaped that act. Society rewarded it. Men expected it. And she learned quickly that the world treats an innocent woman differently, more gently, more generously, more blindly. Innocence became her armor, not because she lacks desire, but because she was never allowed to show it, without consequences. The truth most men never consider is this: a woman doesn't hide what she doesn't have. She hides what she shouldn't reveal. And the better she is at acting innocent, the more practiced she is at suppressing the parts of herself she was told to bury. The parts that don't disappear, they grow sharper in the dark. Masks don't erase desire. Masks compress it. And whatever is compressed eventually becomes explosive. You look at her soft smile and think it means gentleness. You see her avoiding sexual jokes and assume she's untouched by lust. You watch her blush around certain topics and interpret it as purity. But that blush isn't purity, it's pressure. It's the heat of something she's holding back so tightly she can barely breathe around it. You think she's gentle. You think she doesn't think about sex. You think she's above desire. But she isn't. She's just better at hiding it than every other woman in the room. Innocence becomes a mask, not because she wants to deceive you, but because it's the only identity she's been allowed to show the world. And deep down, behind that quiet smile, behind that polite posture, behind that rehearsed softness, is a storm she's terrified to unleash. Not because it isn't there, but because she knows once it breaks free, she won't be able to control it. And neither will you. The good girl isn't born. She's constructed. She's shaped by warnings, expectations, and a lifetime of subtle punishments for simply feeling what is natural. She learns early that desire must stay hidden, that wanting is dangerous, that expressing hunger, sexual, emotional, or even personal, makes her less respectable. So she develops one skill to survive: the ability to deny her own impulses, not because she lacks them, but because she's been trained to fear them. Yet biology doesn't care about her fear. It doesn't care about rules, reputation, or the image she's been forced to uphold. When a woman represses her desire, it doesn't vanish. It mutates. It twists, deepens, intensifies. Repression does not kill desire. It distorts it. And that distortion becomes the very thing men never see coming. This is the pressure cooker effect, the psychological phenomenon that makes good girls far more dangerous than the women who openly embrace their sexuality. When she cannot express desire publicly, she expresses it privately, intensely, secretly. The shy girl who won't say a provocative word in public is the same girl who fills her journal with fantasies far darker than anything she would ever admit out loud. The quiet one who avoids attention becomes the most uninhibited, the most primal, when she finally trusts a man enough to drop the mask. The polite girl who can't hold eye contact isn't avoiding you because she's innocent. She's avoiding you because she's imagining something she'd never dare say. And the more she suppresses, the more she craves. The more she hides, the more violently she will break when the right man unlocks her. This is why men are always shocked by the ones who look the most well-behaved. The good girl doesn't know moderation. She only knows extremes: silence or surrender, repression or eruption. And when she finally lets go, she doesn't ease into desire. She crashes into it because she's never been allowed to explore her impulses in small, healthy ways. She's only known how to lock them away until the lock breaks. The innocent ones aren't pure, they're just untested. A woman who acts innocent lives a double life, even if she doesn't realize it. On the surface, she presents the version she was taught to be: controlled, proper, reserved. She speaks gently, moves politely, stays within the lines drawn for her since childhood. This is her public self, the one the world applauds. But beneath that polished exterior is a second identity she never shows unless someone earns it. Her private self, unfiltered, hungry, instinct-driven. And the distance between these two selves is exactly what makes her desire more dangerous than any other woman's. Because that gap doesn't stay quiet forever. It builds tension. It stores energy. It turns her into a paradox waiting to break open. Most men think an innocent woman's desire is softer, safer, easier to manage. But that's the biggest mistake you can make. When she finally lets go, she goes further than anyone expects. Repression turns into intensity. Intensity turns into obsession. And because she's never allowed herself to explore desire gradually, she experiences it in explosive extremes. What another woman might feel in degrees, she feels in avalanches. She doesn't warm up. She snaps. And when she snaps, she dives deep into the very impulses she spent years suppressing. The second danger men misunderstand is addiction. When you unlock a woman who has lived her entire life in restraint, you don't just awaken her desire. You become the doorway to her freedom. You become the first escape, the first man who made her shadow feel safe enough to breathe. And the emotional imprint that creates is irreversible. She doesn't just want you. She clings to the version of herself she becomes with you. That connection is powerful and dangerous. The third danger is the one most men never see coming. She has no internal brakes. Because she never learned how to navigate desire, she only learned how to hide it. So once the mask breaks, she doesn't know moderation. She doesn't know boundaries. She doesn't know how to step back from the edge. She only knows how to leap. Her desire doesn't come with a manual. It comes with momentum. And if you're the man standing in front of her when that momentum hits, you'll feel the full force of years of suppressed hunger crashing into you all at once. The woman who hides everything doesn't know how to control anything when she finally lets it out. Innocent acting women almost never fall for the safe man, the predictable man, the agreeable man, the man who treats her innocence like a fragile ornament. That kind of man only reinforces the mask she's been forced to wear her entire life. He worships the facade, not the woman hiding underneath it. And deep down, she knows it. She knows he's in love with the image, not the truth. That's why her desire never ignites for him. Because the man who believes she's innocent is the man she can never be herself with. Instead, she falls for the dangerous man, not dangerous in the reckless sense, but dangerous in the psychological sense. The man who doesn't buy the innocent act because he can see the hunger behind her eyes. The man who recognizes the quiet tension in her voice, the suppressed fire in her stillness, the shadow in her smile. He doesn't treat her like porcelain. He treats her like a woman, complete, complex, contradictory. And that recognition alone is intoxicating to her. He brings out the part of her she suppresses, the part she doesn't show the world, the part that scares her because it feels too real, too powerful, too raw. And when he enters her life, that hidden self, the one she's kept caged for years, finally feels like it's allowed to breathe. There is a deep evolutionary force at work here. A woman's desire doesn't awaken for the man who protects her mask. It awakens for the man who can handle her shadow. The man who is strong enough, grounded enough, aware enough to see both sides of her without flinching. Throughout human history, women didn't choose partners based on how gentle they were. They chose based on how capable they were of containing the full spectrum of her emotion, stability, chaos, softness, and desire. She doesn't want the man who worships her purity. She wants the man who can navigate her darkness without losing himself. That is why the safe man feels invisible to her, while the grounded, self-possessed man feels irresistible. One treats her innocence as identity. The other treats it as a mask. One reinforces her performance. The other frees her from it. And when she finally meets the man who makes her feel seen, not as a good girl, but as a whole woman, everything inside her shifts. The tension breaks. The pressure releases. The shadow steps forward. She's not innocent. She's waiting for the man who makes her stop pretending. There is a moment every innocent acting woman hopes no one notices. The moment the mask slips, not because she lost control, but because the right man finally stepped into the room. It happens fast, almost imperceptibly, yet it carries the weight of years of repressed desire breaking through the surface. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it completely. The first thing that changes is her voice. It drops, lower, softer, more vulnerable. Not because she's trying to seduce, but because her nervous system shifts into instinct. Her tone loses its practiced politeness and becomes something raw, something unguarded, something that exposes the part of her she keeps hidden from the world. Then her eyes betray her. They linger too long, hover too deep, return to you even when she pretends to look away. This isn't flirtation. It's desire slipping through cracks she can't seal fast enough. All her life she's learned how to control her expression, how to appear composed and untouched. But the moment she feels genuinely pulled toward a man, that control fractures. Her gaze says everything she refuses to say out loud, and then her body follows. Her proximity shifts. She moves closer without realizing it. Her breath changes, slower, deeper, charged with attention she doesn't know how to hide. Her pupils dilate, not from lighting, but from arousal her mind hasn't yet accepted. These are primal reactions, not choices. Signals she can't suppress, even if she wants to. You might think this moment is her changing, becoming bold, becoming sensual, becoming someone new. But that's the lie men tell themselves to protect their illusions. She didn't change. She was always like this, always carrying desire she couldn't express, always holding back impulses she was taught to silence, always waiting, quietly, patiently, for the man who could unlock the part of her she keeps buried under innocence. You just weren't the man who opened the door, but someone was. And when that door opens, even slightly, the transformation looks shocking only to those who never understood what innocence really is. Repression in disguise. Her innocence wasn't real. Her desire was. The final paradox is this. The women who appear the most untouched are often the ones carrying the deepest storms. The quiet ones, the shy ones, the softly spoken ones. People assume they float through life with calmer hearts, simpler desires, gentler impulses. But beneath that still surface is a mind that thinks more than she lets on, a heart that feels more intensely than she shows, and a desire that runs darker than any man expects. Innocence for her isn't a lack of emotion. It's a refusal, forced or learned, to reveal what simmers underneath. She thinks the most because she's spent her entire life analyzing herself, suppressing impulses, measuring her every move. She wants the deepest because desire denied becomes desire amplified. She feels the strongest because every emotion she wasn't allowed to express grew sharper in the dark. And she desires the darkest because the shadow she never explored became the shadow that defines her cravings. Stillness is not purity. Stillness is pressure. A lifetime of unspoken thoughts. A lifetime of controlled behavior. A lifetime of wanting more, but being rewarded for asking for less. That tension doesn't dissolve. It builds. And pressure always breaks louder than noise. The innocent woman is only innocent to the men who don't know how to read her, to the man who understands the psychology beneath her silence. Her innocence looks less like purity and more like a warning, a signal that something powerful is waiting to be released. And when she finally lets go, she doesn't step into desire. She collapses into it, all at once, without restraint, without caution, without the gradual unfolding other women go through. That's why men are so often shocked by her. They thought they met a gentle flame. They discover a wildfire. They thought she was safe. They discover she was simply contained. They thought she was pure. They discover she was pressurized. If you think she's innocent, you're already blind. It's the quiet ones who burn the hottest. It's the polite ones who crave the most. And it's the good ones who carry desires powerful enough to ruin you. When you finally understand this part of women, the shadow behind their innocence, the tension behind their restraint, the hunger behind their silence, you stop moving through relationships blind. You stop confusing politeness for purity, hesitation for virtue, softness for simplicity. You begin to see the real mechanics of desire, the truth beneath the mask, the signals that were always there, but hidden in plain sight. And once you see them, you can't unsee them. That's the shift this channel is built for. Not entertainment, not cheap tricks, but awareness so sharp it cuts through the illusions men were conditioned to believe. Because the truth is simple. Women don't hide their darkness to deceive you. They hide it because the world punished them for having it. And if you don't know how to read the difference between the woman she shows and the woman she is, You will keep choosing the wrong one, misunderstanding the right one, and missing the moment when her mask finally cracks open for you. That's why what comes next matters. If you want the next video, the one that shows you how to tell whether her innocence is real or just a mask built from years of repression and desire, hit subscribe. Not because the algorithm needs it, but because you do. The moment you learn to recognize the subtle cues, the tone shifts, the body language breaks, the micro expressions that give away her real nature, you stop guessing. You stop chasing. You stop interpreting women through fantasies and start seeing them through psychology. And that alone puts you ahead of 95% of men. Understanding women at this level isn't about control. It's about clarity. It's about stepping out of confusion and into power. The power to choose wisely, respond strategically, and connect with women in a way that aligns with who they truly are, not who they pretend to be for the world. Because most men never get this far. Most men spend their lives believing the surface-level version of women. The smiles, the courtesy, the soft-spoken innocence. They never look deeper. They never question the mask. They never learn to see the difference between a woman who is genuinely pure and a woman who is simply hiding her fire because no one ever made her feel safe enough to show it. But you're here, which means you're not like most men. And if you stay on this path, if you keep watching, keep learning, keep sharpening your awareness, you'll reach a point where you can read a woman's hidden desires without her speaking a word. That's when everything changes. The way you date, the way you connect, the way you choose partners, the way you carry yourself as a man. So if you want that next step, that deeper layer, that psychological clarity most men never touch, subscribe now. And don't just subscribe. Comment your thoughts, share your experiences, and send this video to someone who's been blind for too long. Because once men start seeing women as they truly are, not as they pretend to be, everything in their lives shifts. Hit subscribe, leave a comment, share this with a brother who needs it.